All right, now for another review, and this one is the Fortnite Omega. There he is in the package there. As you can see him in all of his splendor. 22 moving parts. Really sharp looking figure. This is my favorite. There he is with his counterpart, Carbide, that we've already looked at, and some other selling points. So let's get started and check him out of the package. All right, here is the figure himself. Really nice looking figure, nice looking action figure. This is my personal favorite between the two, Carbide and Omega. This is Omega. I really like him. Some of you that know more about Fortnite can probably enlighten us on more details about these figures. I just liked them for the pure aesthetics, just the look and the build of these action figures I thought were phenomenal. I just like it, and I like them. I like these things on his back here. I don't know what those are, but he just looks very robotic, very space age, almost Tron-like, like the Tron figures, but even cooler than that. I like that face and that glowing, almost the lights, almost Battlestar Galactic type, reminiscent of that. Just really nice. This is supposed to be pretty much kind of the same mold as the Carbide figure, but there's a lot of neat details going on with this head and these things on the back that we did not have on that particular figure. So just all around a really fabulous, spectacular figure here. And one of the things I like about these figures, for these Fortnite figures, as far as the look of them, they do not look that cartoonish look, kind of like the Borderland figure, like this figure, that chalky, almost cartoonesque looking details to them. But this has more of that shine and that more toy-like action figure look, and even the joints and such have that feel like it's a little bit more sturdy than some of the more chalky, almost flat paint type look of the Borderland figures and some of the other McFarlane toys that you may have in your collection. I don't have many of them. I got this one on a really good buy, on a really good deal at GameStop, and picked him up and have used him in my Masters of the Universe diorama movies, which is what I plan to do with these figures as well, possibly in some of the future episodes where Roboto is highlighted. Maybe they'll be from the same planet as Roboto or something, I don't know. But anyway, very cool figures. So let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. Of course, just like with our Carbide figure, he comes with this jetpack or backpack type accessory, which plugs right into a hole in his back. And when you put that on there, I think he looks even cooler. Check that out. It just adds that accessory. Not only do you have that metal piece that comes off his back, but now that almost looks like it attaches to that awesome backpack, where you see the orange, which that's a deeper orange than what it's looking like on the camera here. But it's just a really neat look in general for this particular figure. It's just really, really cool. You can see that there. Just a nice look all the way around. Just cool looking the way that looks on his back. That's just so cool to me. I just think that is awesome. You see how that would be cool, like a... Maybe we put some flames there. Here we go. All right, but anyway, may need to get his legs a little bit more angled. There we go. Put some flames there. All right, so just really cool figure. And I will have to say this about this particular Omega figure compared to the blue figure, is I like his weapon that he comes with. He comes with this cool looking machine gun. And again, I'm not that versed on the Fortnite figures or their weaponry. This one looks a little bit more in match with his color tones and his look. It's not a very futuristic looking machine gun, but it's still really nice with that gunmetal and the black accents. Just looks really good. And just like with the other one, he has a trigger finger, so that's going to work perfectly to make it look like he's actually holding that, and that's just perfect. And then we have this other accessory, which there was a little bit of smudging paint app there on the barrel of this tool here. It looks like a tool of some sort that Omega has. Carbide had one as well, but instead of like a hinge looking thing on the base, it's got more of that glowing looking techno tool work on the butt of whatever kind of tool or weapon this is, and just some real neat detail of this particular tool. There's no moving parts. It looks like a hinge here, but it doesn't move. There's almost like a handle-like levels of grip here that go up and down the stick of this handle. So it's just a really neat looking tool. Those of you who do Fortnite may be able to tell us what that is used for. Really cool looking tool. And then the final accessory that Omega comes with is the Fortnite base stand for him to stand, because he does have on his heels the pegs to be able to stand him on his stand. So let's go look at his articulation, and we'll be right back. All right, so it's Omega's turn for us to look at his articulation. All right, so this figure measures in at right at 7 inches tall. And if you put him next to your average Masters of the Universe figure, he comes up about the same exact height. Look at him beside many faces here, Manny faces. And he's like, dude, I can do the robot too. I can do the robot thing as well. Maybe we can play Fortnite together sometime. Cool, yes, no, yes, okay. Be that way then. And you can already see, as we attempted to pose him just like he is in his picture here, that you can get him in some really good sharp poses. So let's look at his articulation and compare it a little bit even to his counterpart over here, Carbide. So first of all, the same kind of head situation. You can go back and forth with his neck, his head on the ball joint. He has really good ability to look down, has the ability to look up some, but his helmet restricts his ability to look up even more so than Mr. Carbide over there. But one of the things I will notice is there's more of a range of motion in the ab crunch on this particular character, especially going back. So that may compensate for the ability to look up, as well as being able to use this waist joint like we saw on the other figure as well. So there's also this neck that has some, oopsie daisy, didn't mean to do that, but that helps us look at that. You see that this particular part is on a ball joint as well. That neck, and so it moves also underneath that helmet. So there's that ball joint underneath the neck, and then a ball joint on the actual head as well. So that should allow to get quite a bit of poses, and that's back on there securely. It just pops right off and pops back on. So that's good to know. I didn't experience that with other character, and that just happened. So, but there is a ball joint under both the head and the neck, so that's going to allow some more range of motion just all the way around. All right, moving on to his arms, same thing. You have a butterfly joint, which is harder maybe to see that with this black, but you can see the motion there. Same kind of shoulder armor that restricts him from going up to about that much, but of course he can get 360. There is a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which allows him to go all the way up. That's an excellent range of motion there, really good. Really like that. That's excellent. And then also he has the ball joint wrists, which has a good amount of range of motion there on those. also. So bicep swivel, you got the shoulders, and you can again adjust that shoulder joint with that butterfly motion that kind of goes up and down a little bit also. Same on this side, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and again with that ball joint on the wrist, you can get it to go whichever way you can get that ball to turn to allow you to have the whatever range of motion you need on your wrists. Okay, and then we've already covered this. It doesn't move very much side to side, but a little bit, but it will go back quite a bit. You see the spacing there, there's quite a bit of that, but you don't see it when you look straight onto the figure. It's almost Iron Man-esque the way this looks to me. That's another analogy to use on that. Just the way it's built. And then of course he has the ability to turn at the waist on that ball joint either way. And then a little bit up and down, but not as much play in there as in some action figures. Same thing with these legs. Trying to go straight out, you're not going to be able to get but about that far, but if you'll rotate it to the slightest bit, you'll be able to get a full seat. You're just not going to be able to have your knee on top, rotating that out. Otherwise you're limited for how much that's going to go forward unless you rotate that the way it's done. Okay, so you're not going to be able to get a full split even though you've got that hinged almost ball joint type thing because of the way this is designed on the side here. You're not going to be able to get those out all the way, not going to be able to get a split for him, but you can still do just about anything that you need to do. You're not going to be able to go back but about that much, forward but about that much, unless you rotate these like so, like I was showing you with that joint, taking advantage of that joint underneath all of this crotch area. Okay, and then you have the double jointed knees. No boot cut, no thigh cut, no calf cut or anything here around these boots. Just that ball joint at the ankle. And then of course you have, depending on how you rotate that, you can of course get a pivot, and then you have the toe joint at the foot as well on the toes. Same on this side. You can see that ankle pivot depending on how you turn that ball joint. You'll be able to get that ankle pivot pretty good in there. All right. So the next thing we'll need to do is take some pictures and get them in some poses. And before we do that, just mention about this backpack again. This excellent looking backpack. It's just so cool looking. When you plug that in, it almost looks like it's connecting to those pieces on his back, even though they don't. It does come in contact with them, and it joins almost together. And that silver work really looks almost like it's real metal. Just really neat. Like that backdrop behind these figures is metal, and you can't hardly tell the difference between the plastic on these and that metal back there as far as that shine. It looks that realistic. It's got the little rivets or screws or bolts that you can see there in the picture. Zoom that in so you can see that. And then the helmet, there's just a lot of nice detail to that face. See all that nice detail to the face and all that orange trim that looks like he's glowing. You get a good picture of that, the leg work there. His boots. Backpack, the back. So nice, just really nice looking figure all around. It's going to have some really amazing ability to pose out this figure. Again, the ankle joints are a little loose. That can be a issue for getting him to stand, but you do have the Fortnite base that his ankle or his heel holes, the peg holes on the bottom of his boot will go into, so that you can get him to stand on that. His ankles are just a little weak, so it makes for a little challenge to keep him upright just a little bit. He'll move forward a little bit better than he'll move back. All right, so there's his gun again, just giving you another view of that accessory. And then the tool. So let's get him in some poses and check out the rest of his articulation and how you can pose him out. Thank you for checking us out. Thumbs up if you like these videos. Subscribe, please, and hit that bell if you'd like to be notified, especially if you're into our Masters of the Universe diorama movie, The Story. We're working on part 4 now. We've got part 1, 2, and 3 up, so hit that bell if you want to be notified when those come out, or any reviews that I do of various action figures that I like and enjoy. Take care and God bless.